Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Wartrain. If you're new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell down below, and do me a favor, share this video to all your friends, and at the end, give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And with that said, today's video is about the Nintendo Switch Pro and why we need one as soon as possible. The Nintendo Switch is a handheld home console hybrid. It came out in 2017. The system is absolutely amazing, has an amazing library of games that keep growing every day, and it seems like they just keep getting better the more they add to the system. There's a ridiculous amount of games added constantly of great quality, and the Nintendo first party titles are like the best in the industry, and they're known for quality. I mean, that is just a fact. And we really need this system so we could be on par with some of the other consoles. We have the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. These consoles can do 4K and HDR at higher frame rates. Nintendo Switch is sometimes on certain games only getting 900p with 30 frames locked. It'd be awesome if we could get 1080p in handheld and in dock mode at 60 frames per second locked all the time. That would be awesome. If we could get these games day and date with the other systems, like games we can't get because the system has got a mobile chipset, and let's face it, it just can't handle it. We need a Nintendo Switch Pro so we could get those games and be in parity with these systems, because Nintendo's missing out on a huge market of those third-party titles that it just can't do because the games wouldn't run on it, and it's a shame. I mean, I'm sure some of these developers would love to put their games on some of these on the Nintendo Switch system, but they just can't. They can't make it work. It's very unfortunate. Had they have a Nintendo Switch Pro, they may be able to do this kind of stuff, and maybe even go beyond. Maybe Nintendo's games will even just jump up to a level we've never seen, because some of their games are so impressive. I mean, you have Breath of the Wild behind me, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made. Definitely one of the best Zelda games ever made, that's for sure. And then you have Super Mario Odyssey, another amazing game. Possibly, and in some people's opinion, the best 3D Mario game ever made. Really great games. Like I said, the library's amazing. Imagine if those games could run at 1080p locked all the time, handheld, docked mode, 60 frames a second, all the time. Anti-aliasing, so we're not having all those jaggy edges all the time. That stuff, we don't want to see that no more. It would just be great if we could pay the extra money just to get something that can push out those higher fidelity graphics and these higher FPS. I mean, that would be awesome. And then you have something like the Labo VR, which is an amazing product, but let's face it, the thing has some flaws. You got unstable frame rates that drop well below 30, maybe even well below 20. You got Breath of the Wild, you look around and it's skipping. You have like no anti-aliasing at all, which is a shame. So you have super jaggy edges on it, which we don't want to see that if we don't have to. And that's supposed to be an introduction into VR, but you're putting such a great game on there, and it really needs, it needs something special to give that thing what it deserves. That thing definitely deserves VR with, a pro version where you have high frame rates, high fidelity, where you turn your head and it's super smooth, and there's no chugging. The system isn't ready to explode because you're pushing it so hard. I mean, the system, you put it in dock mode, it gets a little extra power, but if you're doing the VR in the handheld mode, which you can only do it in, you lose that extra bit of juice. Now imagine if that handheld could get that extra power. That would just be amazing. Imagine if you could get what you would get in dock mode in that handheld mode and put that into VR. That's the kind of stuff we need to see, Nintendo. Absolutely needed as soon as possible. And we have these new next generation of consoles coming right around the corner. PS5, Xbox One 2, or Scarlet, or whatever you want to call it, Anaconda, whatever they're calling it these days. You know, these systems, we need to get out in front of them. That way, you know, people are not just buying those systems, but also putting money into yours. Because if a Nintendo Switch Pro would come out, a lot of people would definitely want to buy that before they would want to get a PS5 possibly, or an Xbox 2. You know, because maybe they're just such a huge fan of Nintendo, but they're ready to move on to a next generation, and maybe they're stuck on the Nintendo Switch. And, you know, it's a great system, but let's face it, guys, some of the games you just can't get. You know, maybe they want to play the Red Dead Redemptions 2 and, you know, Devil May Cry 5 or Resident Evil 2 Remake, and you just can't do it because the system can't handle it. It's very unfortunate, and I know Nintendo would probably like to have these games. I know some of these developers are probably dying to put it on that system, because the fact that people could play it in handheld and docked is a major selling point of the system. To me, it is like the selling point, absolutely. I recommend this system to anybody I can because I know it's such a good system. It's my favorite one for a reason. This is my favorite system of all time, and I do not say that lightly, considering I've been a gamer since the early 80s. So to say this is my favorite console, that really tells you something about the quality of the games and the hardware. Nintendo really has something special with the Nintendo Switch, and I don't want to see them get left in the dust. I'd like to see them progress and just keep it going with all that momentum they build on the Switch. I mean, it's sold more in its short lifespan in Japan than the PlayStation 4 in its whole lifespan. That is absolutely amazing. It was the fastest selling console in the first year in history. So the thing breaks records. That tells you something about what this thing does and how special it actually is. And people recognize this. And I believe, just like myself and a lot of other gamers, a lot of people would definitely want to spend the extra money to get this system. Even if it was up to $500, $600. Definitely wouldn't want to see it over $500. That's pushing it, but, you know, I would definitely pay $600 if it had to come to that. Because I understand that, you know, to get something like this, you might have to pay more, especially because some people pay a lot for a phone or a tablet. Well, this is a mobile chipset, so it's got a lot in common with that stuff. Yeah, it don't maybe make phone calls and stuff, but this could be one of the premier gaming platforms, period. I mean, Nintendo Switch is a premier gaming platform. Now imagine taking that to the next level with a Pro version of the Switch. It would absolutely escalate it to next level status, and it would absolutely be amazing. Like I said, to have that high resolution, the high frame rate would be insane. To have anti-aliasing and just better lighting, this system could be just beyond amazing. I don't even have words for it. It would probably leave me speechless if we had this. But I really want this. I think we need to get it as soon as possible. Hopefully Nintendo will answer everybody and just put this out there for us, because they know that a lot of people want it. There's been so much talk about it, and for good reason. It's awesome. And a lot of people are excited to see what Nintendo does next. And I believe this could be something truly special. So Nintendo, we really want to see this. Put it out there. 4K, it might be too much to ask, but we'll take it. But 1080p, we'll take that too. That'd be just fine. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Nintendo Switch Pro. If you're actually even interested in it. If you really want one, like, you know, just like me and a lot of other gamers, maybe you're dying to get this thing. Or maybe you're not interested at all. Maybe you think the Nintendo Switch is absolutely fine the way it is and would be fine if it was just this for a couple more years down the road until Nintendo decides to put out a next-gen system. But let me know what you think. I'd really like to know. That's the video, guys. I'm Wartrain, and I'm out.